Hello, ladies and gentlemen. Welcome back to Working Man Ron Doyle. I am a master electrician on Maryland's Eastern Shore, and I do new construction, residential, and repairs on older existing homes. The number one complaint that I've had from new customers moving into their brand new home, they call me up or they call the contractor, and I get a complaint from the contractor. I can't plug normal plugs into my receptacles. Something's wrong with them. Well, I hate to tell you, a number of years ago, you all are familiar with the little plugs that people used to put in the face of the outlets to keep kids from plugging wires in, and bobby pins or dimes or anything they could get in here would shock them. So our National Electric Code had implemented using tamper-resistant receptacles, and a lot of these receptacles, such as this one, is a Eaton brand, 15 amp, 120 volt. You can't see anywhere on the face where it says tamper-proof, and they have used black shutters inside of the holes, which you can't see. The only way you can tell on this particular outlet, if you look real close, you can see a TR in this upper corner. Other than taking the cover plate off, you're not going to know that with this particular brand. The other brands have TR in the center of it, right here, and they'll have a TR right here. These outlets don't. Some customers don't want to see that. Well, that keeps the kids from inadvertently putting something inside there and getting shocked. Either one of these prongs. Now, the ground, you can still put a wire in. Nothing's going to happen. It's just the ground. The neutral and the hot have to be pushed in simultaneously for it to actually make contact. And chances are, a kid's not going to be creative enough to take two wires and line them up and push them in. Now, I did. I just got it in. For me, it's not a problem. But they have to go in simultaneously. Well, they make these different brands, different companies make these different outlet testers, and basically, you going around and testing your outlets, you can see how much force has to be applied. And the electrical inspector actually uses one similar to this. This is Reliance. It has an audible signal. So that if I'm doing work at a distance and I'm turning breakers on trying to designate a circuit, I can hear an audible signal. I mean, I can hear this thing miles. It's super loud. It's like 120 decibel. But it also detects your polarities, if they're crossed or reversed, and it tells you if it's miswired, basically. And these actually are light bands that can be viewed from both sides. Now, as far as model number on this thing, it has a 105 decibel rating. It's called a Circuit Scout, GFC outlet tester, and breaker locator. So you can see into that. Very handy tool. These things have gotten up in price. They're roughly 35 bucks now. You can find them on Amazon. But what he'll do is go around to receptacles, and he'll plug, you can see how much effort I'm using. He'll plug this in, and he's checking for a few things. He's not telling you, but he's checking for one, to see if this outlet is actually loose into the walls. He plugs this in. He could rock this and tell how much play is in there to see if you have put spacers in your outlets. He's also checking for the right polarity and to make sure it's wired up correctly. And one of the things that I want to emphasize in this video is outlets and setbacks. So if you ever went up to an outlet in your house to plug something in, and this happened, where the outlet is loose. This is what the electrical inspector looks for, and that's why he uses a tool like this that has you can get a firm grip on it to see if this outlet has been spaced properly, or if it has spacers at all. So I'm going to take this cover plate off and show you how to space it out. Here we have our loose outlet that the inspector will definitely catch because he plugs into every receptacle I install. So we're going to take out this mid-size unbreakable cover plate, which, if you all don't know the difference between a mid-size and a standard, this is the mid-size on the left, this is the standard cover plate on the right. You can see I'm lining them up at the bottom.
It's a little bit taller, and the standard plate is on the bottom, and the mid-size plate is on the top. The mid-size plate is what we call a unbreakable, and the standard plate is a more of a dense plastic. It's if I flex it too hard, it'll crack. It's got so much give to it. But anyway, looking at this receptacle, you can see that there's a gap set back, and if I push in, it will actually bend the device strap at the top and the bottom. So what I'm going to do is take the receptacle out as far as that. And if you look, this is a dead receptacle. There's no power. This is a new construction home. If you're doing this in your home, make sure that this breaker that feeds this receptacle is off. So you can see on this particular receptacle, I've got about a 3/16 setback on this, and on the top I've got about a 3/16 setback. And there's different reasons for these boxes not being flush. One could be improper depth when this was actually nailed in place. Another could be variances in the studs that are in the wall, not being lined up with each other. And I lined it off of this stud. Of course, we're by a window. You can see the window frame. There's a group of jacks and studs here. Could be causing this box to be set back from the stud that I actually nailed it to, which is on this side, due to these little tabs. On this right-hand side. Now they make a product. This one's made by Garner Bender. It's a 24-pack of spacers. They're 1/8 thick. I've used these a number of years. These things are getting very, very expensive. This pack, I'm going to insert a photo so you can see how much these cost. These are right around $8.50. The price was actually mismarked on the shelf. These are now going up to $12 a pack now. I stopped using these. Now this is what code allows, and I asked the inspector, the electrical inspector. I use MEI, which is Maryland Electrical Inspections, George Landing. I asked him a number of years ago if he had any problem with me using supply tube. This is PEX, and it's rated for water supply for toilets and sinks. Now when you buy this new in the store, it comes with a flared end for the connections at the bottom of a toilet valve or the bottom of a sink valve. There's usually a connection on this end, and I cut it off. Now most of the time I can get the tail ends that are cut off from the plumbers for free. I use this for spacers. If you decide to use this, that I am using it now, make sure you ask your inspector prior to doing this if he's all right with substituting spacers, a supply tube for spacers. My inspector was good with it, but basically what I do when I first started learning how to use tubing is put your blade up to the wall, and you want to do a little scratch line. You can see the scratch line on the tubing. Now you're going to have to find a knife that fits your hand really well. If you're using a wrong size knife that doesn't fit in this particular cutting application, you're going to cut yourself. And I just found that the Cobalt flip blade, it's a composite plastic handle, works really well for doing this. There's enough clearance between my thumb and where my thumb stops that I'm not cutting myself doing this. But I'll put my thumb, if you can see that, I'll put my thumb right there, and I'll take the tubing, and I'll roll it, and I'll cut a piece off like so. And I'll take this outlet, make sure your grounds are at the bottom, make sure it's not touching the neutral or hot. I'll do the bottom side first, get that spacer put on, and then I'll set it into that bottom hole. And then all I'll do is I'll cut a spacer for the top, set your tubing up there, cut a line across so you can see your scribe, and I'll cut one for the top. Put it over the back of your screw. Snug your screw up. Put your cover plate on.
And put your screw back in it. I turned my screw in the vertical fashion. The customers pay attention to that. And as you can see, we have got a fixed and very tight, some dirt on the plate, a very tight outlet from the use of 1/4-inch supply tube that was provided from scraps from the plumber, instead of spending your money on these Gardner Bender spacers. So hopefully this is an appealing option for you and doing your next electrical installation. Ladies and gentlemen, that concludes our video presentation of spacing your outlets and the alternatives that you could use for traditional 1/8-inch stack spacers. If you all decide to do this option, please ask your electrical inspector if he will approve this before you go through the extent of spacing outlets with this material. I want to make sure that you all don't cut your thumbs. I need you to give me the thumbs up if you like this video, and coming real close to my 500 subscriber giveaway. I want you all to be eligible. Very first thing, this contest is for continental United States. I've got other subscribers that are from Australia, Ireland, South America. This contest, I'm sorry, does not apply to you because the freight would cost more than the prize. So please only enter if you're in the continental United States. I'm going to ask you 3 specific questions. First question is, how did you find Working Man Ron Doyle? That's number 1. Put the video topic as number 1. The second one is your present occupation. I want to know if you were a licensed electrician, if you were a journeyman, if you were a plumber, if you were an iron worker, if you were a lawyer, doctor, if you do work in an office, if you're a housewife, if you're a stay-at-home father, leave that as number 2. I'm not going to discriminate in any fashion of what you do. I just want to make sure that the prize is catered to your profession and what you do. The third and final question that is going to be the winner on it is, I made a video in the past that I've broken 2 tools in one video. I want you to name the video, and I want you to name the 2 tools that I broke, burned up, or destroyed in that video. So first is how you found me, second is your occupation, and the very third question is find the video that I broke 2 tools in, and could be broke, bent, burned up, or destroyed, and leave that in the comments below. I will look through the comments, pick out the winning answers, I'll put them in a hat, and I will draw from it. I will do another video, who is the winner, and I will draw the name out of a hat on a video. I'm going to ask you to send me your email address, and I'm going to mail you that prize. So I wish you all the best of luck. Hopefully you're a winner, and I hope you all enjoy this video. God bless, and you all have a wonderful and blessed day.